however cool this person is presenting, big fat red heart, and this paradise. Again, I saw these cards and my heart just skipped a beat. They feel it. They really feel it. It feels like happiness, joy, playfulness, honeymoon phase. They feel like in paradise with you. And you're right, the affection is returned. The affection is returned. So they would, the emotions that you felt for them, we covered this in your part, in previous part. The love, how they make you feel, this is reciprocated. The actual feeling is reciprocated. We have Phoenix. New phase, grow. I feel like you guys, it's so often in these kind of connections, we have also time with friends, having fun, living the moment. And we have a bit of a sabotage card, insisting card. I'm hearing stubbornness. So it's so common in these connections because we're both wounded when we meet with this destined person, right? We're both wounded and you see them on a pedestal. Watch the previous part, all that we said, that you feel like I must be the luckiest girl in the world. How is this possible that this man is sitting in front of me? Like, he's so out of my league. He's thinking the exact same thing. It's all wounding. It's all armor. It's all insecurities. He's thinking the exact same thing. He's thinking that I feel like you're doing different things for each other, right? I feel like you would be this shy person, this more of a closed person. So he's very, right, bravado, sort of an extrovert and making friends with everybody, right? So you like admire that he's actually opening you up. Maybe he has taken you to a couple of parties and places, introduced you to some friends, and it's like to life that maybe you are that sort of, they're now showing me the ugly duckling, bit of an ugly duckling story. Such a beautiful story. She didn't know she was a swan. I'm gonna cry. You guys, you're making me cry. And I feel like this is a sort of it's starting to sound like a freaking Disney fairy tale, right? But I really do feel that you would be that ugly duckling energy, but from a more of a conservative family, maybe from like a mid-class or even wealthy family, like you had access to a variety of things. So you're maybe well spoken, you're more, this is why maybe they're so intimidated when it comes to money. Not just actually, it's not the money, you guys, it's not the money, but some people, we all choose these journeys for ourselves for a reason, right? But some of us, we're born in families that even if you're not super wealthy, right, you know about, you're educated, you know about etiquette, you know how to behave yourself around people in social situations, right? I'm seeing now this like Pretty Woman sort of a situation when he was explaining to her like what kind of a knife and fork she has to use, right? So you would be more uptown, right? Now I'm hearing this, the song Uptown Girl. She's been living in her uptown world. Maybe it is a bit of that situation that this person actually, you feel intimidated because they all right, and you're this like and they feel like you are this elegant and classy, and what the hell are you doing with them? They feel like you're introducing them to this wild world. They introducing you to this wild world, but I feel like they feel you're introducing them to something better, to something bigger. I'm loving these stories. Oh my god, I am such a romantic. Alright, what else? How could I not be? I'm a reader for divine love. I'm a goddess of love, a priestess of love. How could I not be? Happiness hater, you guys. I feel like this person they would have a very locked heart. This is this classic story of divine masculine when they're very romantic, they have very open hearts, early age, very young, they get heartbroken incredibly and they lock their hearts. and they convince themselves that love it doesn't exist, that these Disney fairy tales, that it doesn't exist, that it's just all nonsense, and they became this happiness hater that see people that are in love, they're like, ugh, it's probably fake, it's probably not true. And now they're like starting to be like, I feel that way. We have Queen rising. I feel this is how he would look at you, this person, that you're really very, I feel this collective, you would be very elegant, right? And you guys, I say this all the time, elegance, class, right? It doesn't come with money. It comes from family, how you were raised, right? So women, no amount of money, right? And I don't mean this in a mean way, but it's true. No amount of money will buy you class. No amount of money, no matter what kind of Gucci, Givenchy clothes you will put on, and you can be able to afford the most expensive restaurants. If you from within are not a classy person, a woman who was raised to respect herself, to have values, to know how to behave, there's a reason it was coming to my mind, to know etiquette, to know, the savoir vivre, how to behave, how to interact with other people in different social situations. No amount of money will make up for that, right? And sometimes it's funny, it's like when you have women who really are classy, who have that class, you can be wearing sweats and you can go to Target to pick up some stuff. People can tell, because it's about how you move, it's about how you speak, how you treat others, right? And you can have the most expensive, again, clothes, right? If you don't have it, no. And I'm thinking now, you would be this don't make this fit, but you would be this collective, a very classy person, a very delicate, very well behaved, mannered. There's this softness, this gentleness. I'm thinking about Lady D right now, and someone said that a classy, I remember someone said this about, it's coming to my mind, that a classy woman, a classy lady, it's not about her superiority and showing her superiority. True classy lady always makes you feel comfortable, right? So classy person never intimidates others. If someone gets intimidated, it's their problem, because they have self-esteem issue. But a classy person never shows their superiority, because they have certain things, or they've seen certain things. It would make sense. It's coming to my mind. It would make sense for the Light Collective. You would be this person. You would be very well mannered, well behaved. One more. You guys, confirmation. And again, we have the Cupid's arrow. We have bankrupt. Confirmation. We have grounding. That's on top of that Phoenix. I feel you, this peace, you both feel it, but in a different way, right? I feel like this person, there's something about softness within you. I don't feel like this person ever met a woman like you. Ever. But you guys, again, we attract what we think that we deserve. We attract what we are the vibration of. It's not the problem of who this person is. It's a problem of what they think they deserve. But I think you bring this it's like you bring out within them. I'm also looking at this, it's like they want to grow with you. You're pushing, it's like you're not pushing, you're inspiring them to want more, to want better, to grow. And I'm also looking at this stability and security. I feel like this person never aspired to be this traditional divine masculine stability and provider and right and security provider. I feel like with you, it's like they do want to treat you like a princess. They do want to treat you like a queen. And we have talking, and with this talking, what I was hearing clearly, I feel this masculine, right? Don't get triggered, but I feel this masculine is quite wounded. Wounded to the point, you know how I always say that they don't really like women. They don't really like women in the sense of, opinions, and who women are, because they intimidated without them knowing by femininity, because they're distorted. Distorted men think masculinity is superior. So everything that is feminine, they don't actually like it. So I feel like this person in their previous relationships, they would have relationships where they would feel attracted to someone. They would have women that they would maybe have, chemistry and some level of attraction, and maybe they were in love. But I don't think they ever there's a reason it's coming to my mind. I'm hearing this clearly, that they would ever have someone that they would actually want to talk for hours, in addition, as a bonus to all this chemistry. And I feel that this chemistry, definitely it must be mutual, but I feel like you're now realizing that for them it's more romantic than for you. And often women get confused because you don't understand. You guys, what I always explain to you, this divine flow between men and a woman. Men give through their sacral, we receive through our sacral. We give through our hearts, they receive through our hearts. This is how that flow goes, right? I've been talking about this all the time to explain this to you. This is why we have to be so protective of our sacral, because this is our most precious energy point and most vulnerable. Whereas for men, it's the heart. We store our trauma in the sacral, they store their trauma in the heart. So sometimes women, they feel like, oh, that man, you're so shallow, because they feel like just you have this passion for me. But this is how they give. This is how they express their love. This is how they, and obviously if you are in a relationship, you start giving them back, helping them raise that energy to the level of the heart, sending them that energy through the heart. They open more and more. They become more and more vulnerable, just like we open in a sensual way our sacral to them. It takes time to open our sacral truly to a man. Similarly to a man, it takes time to open his heart. But women oftentimes don't understand that. So I feel like you feel this passion, this flirtatious, this spark, right? And you feel like maybe sometimes you feel that it's just physical, but this is how he expresses his love. Paradise blowing kiss. This masculine is really like stalker, obsessed. But he has the bankrupt card with the self-sabotage, repairing. I feel we were onto something. So we were onto something. It don't make this fit. This is a very important detail for this collective. This person wouldn't be well situated when it comes to finances. So they struggle, they hustler. You probably are in a better financial situation. So it's something that I'm hearing two things. Something that is a point of insecurity. They're very self-aware of that, and it may actually be sometimes a reason why they holding back. It's definitely building up and adding to their lack of self-esteem. But I was also hearing that may be one of the reasons that they self-sabotage. They're not going to admit it, like that this is the reason. Do you know what I mean? Let's see how they feel in their emotion. Death and rebirth. Movement. I feel actually, you guys, this is confirmation. Didn't I say this? People think that, oh, men are so, right, and women are more romantic. It's bollocks. It's just, it's the masks that the patriarchy is forcing us to wear, right? Men are teddy bears. True men in their healed energy, and when their hearts are open, when they're in their divine masculine energy, they have healed all their wounds, which is not the case for this person just yet, okay? But in their true divine masculine energy, men are teddy bears. They love like no other, because their receiving point is the heart. I love men. Men are the coolest. There's a reason it's coming to my mind. Maybe he has some sort of a trauma, this masculine, but people say that men are so, this and that men cheat, that men lie. Yeah, men, distorted men do these things. But the most cruel stories cruel stories of distortion that was done in a relationship. Women, I'm sorry, but it's true. Men, when they're wounded, they just go to the shallow level. They lock their heart and they go to the shallow level of human existence. But how some women can be sophisticated and just who breaks those hearts, right? I mean, again, it's not a game of comparison. It's all distortion, right? So whoever causes harm to another person, it's not men or women, it's distorted men of it. So it's right, but you know what I mean. Consciousness. With this consciousness, I was actually hearing self-consciousness, that he's very self-conscious of his low self-esteem, of certain things that he doesn't feel. So it's going to be a blocker for this collective. This societal issue, the points of insecurities for both of you, it's going to be a blocker. He's very self-conscious of certain things, and when he is in his mind, and men, especially when they're wounded, they are very much in their mind. He's probably going to be saying to himself that it's not going to work out. But we have movement and we have death and rebirth. So this connection at this point already is transforming him. He does, and you had trust, and he has trust as well at the bottom of his deck. So he does trust. I feel like it's a little bit for both of you. It's like the feeling is there, but it's like, how would it ever work, right? But you guys, what is this? Middle Ages? These day of time, whoever says, how would this work? It's excuses. It's self-sabotage. It's self-sabotage. All right, let's do tarot for him as well. Let's do tarot for the gentleman as well. How does he feel in this connection? And then we're going to do the truth, the part that we've been waiting for, the truth. Jackpot! That's how he feels. He feels like he won a lottery with you. You guys, this masculine... I feel like this is this pairing. You're both sitting in front of each other, and for different reasons and for different insecurities, you're thinking, how did I get to be with this person? Which is beautiful when it's healed. Right now it's wounded. If you are in your healed energy and you're thinking that, it's a beautiful thing to think, but... All right. Tradition. I'm hearing this song. It's good. It's societal issues going to be a thing for this collective. We have Ace of Pentacles, which is that jackpot that I mentioned. That's how he feels. He feels like literally it's too good to be true. It's too good to be true. But with this Hierophant, you had the same card. I feel it is a bit of an issue. It is a bit of an issue, and it felt with the Four of Cups, which is a bit of a sadness, a bit of a... It's like he doesn't feel like, what could I do about this? It's just not going to work out. It's just not going to work out. In the long run, in a serious run, how could this work out? And it's making him sad. But in these kind of destined connections, you guys... we design our stories to trigger exactly what needs to be triggered, to be healed in that lifetime, in that connection. So if this masculine, if his soul struggled in this lifetime, in previous lifetimes perhaps, with low self-esteem, with not seeing the fact that the worth of a human being doesn't come from his money, from where he comes from, how he was raised, but his values, his soul. It's something that he will need to learn on his own. Right now, it's just it's making him feel sad that he fell in love with an uptown girl. But you're like, wish upon the stars. Too good to be true. Too good to be true. The Tower, you guys, you both had this card. You had it as your first card. He has it as the first card in his second row. But I feel both of you are behaving completely different. You're doing with each other things that you would never do with other people, but in a good way. I feel like for you, this is it, you guys. I'm seeing it. This is the whole point. This is the whole purpose of these connections. Remember what I said, right? Let's take a step back. We have a Wheel of Fortune at the bottom of the deck as well. We'll see what comes up for him. But remember what I said to you. We have this circuit, right? Receive for their hearts, right? So this is where they store trauma, and this is where they store their magic. But when they wounded, when there's a lot of trauma, the heart cannot take it and it closes. It locks to protect itself, right? Because this is the most vulnerable place. So when men are wounded, they're very disconnected from their hearts. They become shallow connections, women that they don't want to form this deeper bond. Remember what we said? Talking for hours, really connecting, right? They lock their hearts. Women, that place for us is a womb, is a sacral space. This is where we receive, this is where we store trauma. So if there's too much trauma, we lock it, right? Whether that's trauma is related to how we were brought up, all the conditioning, religious, societal conditioning, previous experiences as well. We closed our sexuality, we closed our sensuality, right? And our worthiness and that connection with our body, it all comes from the sacral, right? So when these destined connections, when we meet each other, right, they're locked in their heart, we're locked in our womb. This is what we unlock for each other, right? So remember, we said for you this tower, that you're doing things like you've never, and there's a reason I've mentioned this story right in the beginning of this reading. Remember that you probably never done this with any other man. I feel like this connection awoke your womb, your sacral space. Like you really feel like you are now connected to your body. So you would feel more sensual, more sexy around this person, right? It's unlocking, right? It means when it's unlocking, when we unlock it for each other, it's going to start releasing trauma. So this is when healing will have to take place, but he's unlocked it for you, right? He caused this tower moment that you don't even know how and it's possible and why, right? You are doing with this man things that you would never think you were capable of doing. You know what I mean? And he's going to feel the same way for his heart because you've unlocked his heart. So he would feel that never before, maybe he says certain things that are so deep, so profound, so romantic, and he's like, how did I just say that? I would never say that to any other woman. How is this possible, right? And this is why you also get confused. Remember what I said in the beginning? So because he does this, you in your wounded mind, low self-esteem mind, you're thinking, if he says these things to me and so fast, he probably does this with all women. He's just this Casanova flirtatious person. And he thinks the same way. He unlocked your sacral, he doesn't know that. So from his twisted, wounded, low self-esteem mind, he's thinking, she's doing all that stuff with me. She's probably doing that stuff with other men, which is completely not true. Completely not true. You were just destined, and you unlocked these trauma points for each other. Hierophant, the Temperance. You have so many similar cards. Let's do two more and we'll talk. Santa Muerte! Shut the front door. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 cards are same. Let's see the last one for him. The Magician. A lot of very powerful major arcanas as well. You really feel very, very powerful emotions for each other, the two of you. You're both conflicted for different reasons, but he's conflicted here too, right? So it seems like a wish upon a star. It's too good to be true, such a gift from the universe, but how it could ever work? How it could ever work? It's triggering his insecurities. I don't think he is as conscious as you are that you're triggering his insecurities, but he's thinking, how is this possible? That I feel so soothed, so balanced, so I just, this loving embrace I'm hearing. You both feel that way, right? But he thinks, how is this possible with this woman that we're so different? That societal issue would be bigger of an issue for him than for you. But I feel this masculine carried a lot of sadness within him and within his heart, and you already started to transform this sadness. He may feel a little overwhelmed by that, but you already started to transform this sadness. And I feel, again, it's going to be really an internal battle of self-esteem, because on one hand, he sees you right here, which I explained this to you, it cannot be. It's not going to work in a relationship. When we see each other, right, we should be like, oh my God, I'm so lucky that I'm with this man, but I'm so lucky because I'm wonderful too. That's how it should look like, right? We should be each other's greatest fans, but it cannot come from a lack of self-esteem, right? I've explained this to you. So here right now, it's this internal battle, because on one hand, he sees you on this pedestal, this amazing, wonderful, classy goddess of a queen, right? And he feels like, I got her, so I can do anything, right? He feels the man, he feels really like, right? But then he still doesn't have a balanced soul, that his psyche is not healed enough to hold this to a point like, I really deserve this. You really deserve this. Is these people that tend to self-sabotage in the sense that I will dump you before you will realize that I don't deserve you, and you will dump me. You guys, let's tap into what's the truth. What's the truth of this connection? What is actually going on here? Spirits, spill the tea. Spill the tea, because we're seeing through two wounded individuals. What is actually going on here? Tell me. Tell me why. Tell me, Spirit, what is actually going on here? What is actually going on here? I'm seeing a specific card, but I don't want to say it. All right. Hold on. Let's do 3 more. I feel Spirit's not going to be so excited as I am. I don't get this one. All right. You guys. Come on, Spirits. All right. I hate these I hate these moments when I really don't know how to say to you what I'm hearing. Let's start from, we're gonna do another row in a moment, but let's start from this. This is something that came to your life to create an energy of death and rebirth, of transformation, right? Of liberating yourself, both of you, I feel, from certain shackles that were holding you back in life. Things that you didn't want to deal with, things that you thought that this is just the way it is, right? This is just the way it is in life, in me, I don't have to do anything about this. But it's time to really release conditioned thinking and conditioning. I feel conditioning is going to be a huge lesson to you guys in this connection, because I always say this, love is love. Love is love. True soul connections, this is the biggest thing that they teach us. Love is love. Love knows no age, no money, no finances, no skin color, no background. Love is love. Love is love, and the most beautiful love stories of all time always prove this to us. Love is love. When you love someone truly, you don't love them because they come from